I just installed these holiday lights, and what I like about them is, for one, they're permanent, so I'm gonna leave these up all year round. I also like how easy they are to install. They have adhesive, you just kind of stick them on there, you're done. That's all you have to do for any holiday. Every Christmas, they're already there, already hooked up, you're done. So nice. They are smart lights. You can customize them to do basically whatever you want. You can have a different color for every single light. You can use one of the pre-built scenes, or you can just have them all one color, or you can have them do rotating colors. Like I said, just about anything you want. It uses the Smart Life app to configure everything, which is great for me because I use the Smart Life app for all of my smart devices. Now, these specific lights are called the CINOTON, and they were sent to me so I could make this video. I want to kind of talk about the process for installing these, how they've worked, and some tips I've learned along the way that will hopefully help you if you want to do something similar, because lights like this is really fantastic. As far as installing it goes, you just need an outlet, and then from the outlet you plug in the string of lights. Now, this is the 100-foot string, but it comes in increments of, I think, 25 feet, which makes it easier to install because you don't have this huge string of lights. You're just doing it one set at a time. And like I mentioned before, it just has self-adhesives, so you just kind of stick it where you want it. I have a weird dome home, and there were sections of my home that didn't have any overlaps, and I've seen other people just kind of stick it so it's pointing outwards. I didn't want to do that, so what I ended up doing is I went to the hardware store. I bought some flashing for rain, not sure what to call it, but here's what it is that I got, and that seemed to work out pretty well. It was easy to install. I just got some small screws, screwed that to where I already had it. I did use tin snips so I could bend it in areas, but that ended up working out really well because I could install it underneath. Now I don't have to worry about the elements because it's going to be protected from the rain or snow, which these are already waterproof, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. But mostly I just like having the lights shine down uniformly. Obviously, everyone's home is different, so you might have a different configuration depending on what your home is like, but you can get certain accessories with these lights. For example, if you want an extra long string, then you can get a power supply so you can feed extra long lights. They also come with Y splitters, so if you need to split going in two directions, you can do that. And it also has extension cords. Now, the set comes with, I believe, a 10-foot extension cord, but if you want something smaller than that, you can get a pack of 5 feet extension cords. So you really can get a lot depending on what your house setup is like. As far as using the lights go, you can press the main control box to turn it on or off, or it does come with a remote control. That gives you some functionality that you can do with the remote control. But if you want full control, again, you will need to use the Smart Life app to control it. You can give it a name. I called them the holiday lights, so I can turn them on or off with my smart device. If you want to do something super simple like just a solid color, you could choose a warm color. I have a pretty old home, so warm colors work well with that. Or if it's a holiday, you can choose another color. And then it has a bunch of preset scenes. You can even do some like party modes where if you have music playing, it will react in relationship to the music. Hopefully you don't have neighbors partying where that's a thing that you would need or want, and hopefully you're not that neighbor, but you can do it if you want to. And if you want to go more specific or custom, you can even do a custom setup, save it as a custom setup. So if you have a special made up holiday that you want to configure the lights for, you can do that as well. Here are some tips I learned along the way that hopefully will help you out. The first thing is, before you get any lights, just pay attention to what color the string of lights are. I don't know how noticeable it is for you, but these lights have a white cord. I've got it up against brown, so it's fairly visible. If I had a white home, obviously that wouldn't be a problem, but that's something to consider since it is long term. The next tip is with the length. I would say measure out what length you want, and then whatever that is, get just a little bit more. When you're setting it up, you're going to come to places where you can't extend it all the way, so you're going to have to make it a little bit shorter. So just know whatever length you get, it's going to end up being a little bit shorter than that. My next tip would be, when you get the set it up in a living room or something inside. Get familiar with the app, make sure everything is working. This helps in two ways. First, you can verify that everything's working. Nothing worse than setting something up to find out that it doesn't work. But the more important thing is it just helps you get familiar with it, make sure it's working on your phone, on your app, on your smart devices. Then once you're familiar with it, then you can go ahead, go outside and install everything. Another random tip is you'll generally want to probably clean the surface before you put the adhesive up. I started using rubbing alcohol because usually that's what works best. But in the case where I have this tin siding, it didn't actually work best. So I used glass cleaner and that worked a lot better. This probably won't be the case for everyone depending on what surface you put it on, but I just thought that was interesting enough that I would mention it. Glass cleaner worked better for me for cleaning the surface. If you're someone who sets up Christmas lights every year and takes them down, it is well worth the money to set it up once and never have to set it up again. These lights have been absolutely fantastic. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.